I am muted. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome, everybody, to I'll Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room, with over 300 beers to choose from at 7 different Western New York locations. If you need a beer, make sure you make it a Fatty Beer. Let them know the guys over at Two Goalies on Mike sent you. You can't go wrong with their FEM Mango Wheat. Always have that one on tap. And our other sponsor, Extreme Discount Mattress. Check out their new closeout center at 1625 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga with up to 80% off their already low prices. Save a fortune on one-of-a-kinds, closeouts, and floor samples. You can get a quality mattress for literally pennies on the dollar. Extreme Discount Mattress. We sell mattresses for less. A lot less. And now I get to talk about a game that I feel very, very indifferent about. And I apologize a little bit for the delay with getting on. I've actually felt under the weather quite a bit all day today. So I was actually on the fence about doing the show tonight, but I was really proud of the comeback they made and how resilient they were. I thought, like most of you did, that they were the better team for the majority of that game. Sometimes, and I like to say this, the difference between good teams and bad teams are good teams, when they are having a bad game, they will still find a way to take advantage of mistakes and stay in a game. Whereas the bad teams don't. And I'm not saying Buffalo's like a bad team, but Boston, regardless of what the standings might say, there are still a lot of talent on that team, a lot of good leaders on that team, and they pounced on our mistakes tonight. The first goal, you let Geeky just walk in all alone, untouched, unscathed, and he beats Lyon top corner with a great shot. The second goal, McLeod trying to force a shot for whatever reason, very unnecessarily. Can't get back on the back check. And then Pasternak with it was Lindholm on a 2-on-1. I mean, people like try to blame Lyon for this goal, but as a goalie, man, like those are tough saves. They really are. Even 5 holes straight on a 2-on-1, because like that little head fake he made, it was really well done. I mean, he even had me sold in real time watching the game, and that head fake he made over Lindholm, it just opened up both Byram, and Byram has to find a way to commit better there too. As the only defenseman back, you kind of have to, you're kind of backing your guy up a little bit with the way he played that 2-on-1. You got to commit. Are you gonna try and force Pasta to make a mistake and commit to him, or are you gonna leave Pasta for your goaltender and have it just kind of be a 1-on-1 and just take away that pass entirely? I don't think Byram committed properly, but that's just my opinion. But a lot of goaltenders aren't stopping that shot, man. Especially with that just a great head fake. The third goal, yes, he wants that one back. It was a rebound that got away from him, and they were able to. He lost it. They were able to put away the rebound. As a goaltender, myself included, if I let that one in, I would want that back too. And then the fourth goal, it's a 3-on-1. It's a 3-on-1 in overtime. Dahlin blows a tire. Again, a guy where if there was ever a guy who needed to score a goal more tonight, it was Rasmus Dahlin. And the scrum that happened in front of the net too, just before Dahlin scored, it was they were on the power play, and he was going back and forth with Zadorov. You kind of saw a look in Dahlin's eye. If you go back and look at it, like he was fired up. Whatever happened in that sequence, or maybe he just fed up with his play lately, or maybe him not meeting his own standards. He looked fed up, and he just said, fuck it. And I knew something good was going to come out of Rasmus Dahlin right after that. And he scored. So, that was a, at first you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, that's a guy that you just need to get him going, need to get him on the score sheet, to get that monkey off his back. And then, I know Samuelson probably shouldn't have been going with Dahlin in overtime, but like Dahlin can't blow a tire there, man. Like, you're the best skater on the ice, arguably. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just can't blow a tire there, and it costs you the game. You got 3-on-1 going the other way, and it's the third game you lose in overtime. Honestly, kind of inexcusable. I see that the peanut gallery here is hot. I am going to rip through a lot of these comments as quickly as I can, to say the least, just because there are a lot. I remember when I pressed go live, there were 50. So I imagine there's much more by now. We've been live now for about 5 minutes. So, watching third period intensely, team playing desperately with passion. Notice power play unit. Benson can't make a pass or receive a pass. He's not a top six winger and first unit power play scorer. I mean, I'll disagree with you there, Mauricio. I think Benson's one of the best forwards. The power play does need to be better, though. I will agree with you there. It looked very stagnant at times tonight. Kind of same old, that same bullshit you see, it drove me nuts. There was just the same drop pass breakout, trying to zone entry, try to enter the zone. Guys not moving their feet, forcing passes that aren't there, not getting pucks and bodies to the net. Those are like the things that have made the power play successful so far this season. And you've seen this happen in the past. They'll get away from it. They'll try and be some like finesse team, try and set up the perfect play, that's the perfect pass, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work with this team. This team isn't going to be built on finesse. Like you're not always going to be able to get Tage Thompson open for that shot, or maybe it's Rasmus Dahlin. Like you have to get pucks to the net. You have guys like Doan, Zucker, and Tuck there on the bumper. Like get the pucks to the net and let them do the dirty work down low. You saw a lot of chances tonight. Some of their better chances that didn't end up in the net were from just getting pucks to Korpisalo and crashing and banging away for rebounds. Like again, the play that happened right before the Dahlin goal, the perfect example. Zucker was in there. I think Doan was in there. Like you're just getting all these bodies in the net and just crashing, and that's the way you're going to score. That's the way this team needs to score. Thompson needs better line mates, veterans, length, size, talent, scoring finesse. Top line, Kulik and Benson are struggling. Thompson, so many chances. Yeah, Thompson shoots the puck a ton. What an absolutely horrible loss to possibly the worst team in the Eastern Conference this year. Oh my God, Lyon was so awful. Again, I don't think Alex Lyon was awful. Like, why are we calling him awful? Yeah, one bad goal. As a goalie, I don't blame him for that second goal. That is a tough save. You were put in a tough spot. Your defenseman's backing you into deep into your net. It's a 2-on-1. You have to because Byram isn't committing to the pass. So you as a goaltender have to. I'll put one goal on Alex Lyon there. From a box score standpoint, shots on goal side by side, it doesn't look good, but that isn't an Alex Lyon game. That to me, that's just your captain, the guy that's supposed to be your best player on the ice, blew a tire in overtime, and you gave up a 3-on-1. Like, what are you going to do? It's a 3-on-1. But to say the least, and the only Sabres not allergic to going to the net is Doan. Sabres need 3-on-3 practice. I couldn't agree with you more there, Kevin. No way Benson has a good enough shot for top line minutes or power play. Is Lyon getting fatigued? I mean, I don't think he looked fatigued tonight, guys. I really just don't think that I know you want to hold Alex Lyon and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen to the same standard, no doubt. But even if you want to put the blame, we'll just play devil's advocate here on the second goal, put that on Alex Lyon. If you want to play devil's advocate here, how many games this season has he bailed them out? You know what I mean? I don't want to use the words like he's entitled to letting in a soft one here and there, because that's not the way I want to put it. But he's bailed you out. Sometimes you just got to bail out your goalie after a bad goal. And honestly, that's what you needed to do here. And you did. You got it to overtime. You tied the game. But you give him a 3-on-1. I'm sorry, man. That puck's going in against most teams in the National Hockey League. It's just the way it is. 3 overtime losses in a row, 3 lost valuable points, another moral loss. Hurls, what's tonight's excuse? Team is cursed, comedy of terror. Yeah, unfortunately, Hurls couldn't be on tonight. Doan is a beast. Thompson was so slow tonight, but I thought we had a lot of guys take the night off, not bringing a lot to the table. Lyon was off, but a big third late, thankful we got a point. Yeah, like people want to but how about the massive save he made at the end of the third period to preserve us even getting a point in this game? Like, let's be real. Their best players were their best, ours were not again. And that's kind of been a narrative a little bit this season that you need more from your best players, no doubt. I'm going to go down to the latest comments here. Thompson just needs to know better. In what world do you think it's smart to step up there? I agree. I agree, Dan. Again, 3-on-3, they have not been good at all. Take the C off Dalian and slap it on Doan because he's the only one. I mean, I wouldn't say it like that. Listen, you want more out of Rasmus Dahlin, no doubt. He is not playing up to his own standards. He is not playing up to the standard he's viewed by the entire league. That guy had a terrible offseason. Personally, I'm not going to say I'm going to give the guy a pass for the whole year, but like, it's also understandable why I don't want to say that he's not invested, but like his mind, it might be also elsewhere. And I'm going to be careful with the way I talk here because, you know, it's so easy to say things like, well, if his mind isn't totally in it, then he shouldn't be on the ice. Well, he's the captain. He takes that role very seriously. He is going to be on the ice. He is going to work through this and play through this. That's who he is. That's the type of competitor he is. I mean, I'm sure his wife would want him to do that too. I'm sure his wife is telling him to do that too. We wish nothing but the best for her and her health and her recovery and her rehab. So, listen, I'm not going to sit here and, we all seen Rasmus Dahlin develop. And, I think this is what year, what year are we in now? Like year 6 or 7 with him. He's going to be fine. He just needs time. Okay. But that's just my opinion. I wonder if they swap Benson, Doan, or make Doan, McLeod, Tuck line one. I personally do. That's the one line I do not touch is McLeod, Doan, and Tuck. That line has been fantastic for them. Just my opinion. Sorry, Duane, but Benson isn't a top 6 winger on any other NHL squad. I mean, we can agree to disagree there. I mean, up until like he's played 2 or 3 games less than the rest of the team, and he's leading the team in points, or I think might still be leading the team in points. I don't know. He's right around there. Granted, he hasn't found the back of the net yet. That's the one thing that Lindy Ruff said, all offseason. And once this guy, he learns to finish, like, the sky is the limit for him. And I truly do believe in that. I think Zach Benson is a very valuable player on this roster. Do I think that he should have been thrown into a top line role? No. But to say he's not a top 6 player, I think is insane. I think that what he offers this team night in and night out, just his IQ, his grittiness, you never have to worry about him getting into the corners, digging out pucks, doing all the hard work that, a grinding bottom 6 guy does. But then he has finesse ability, has great hands. He does have a great shot. So for me, like it's just, again, there's some type of missing piece with this team that isn't on this roster yet. Again, it was supposed to be Josh Norris. It turned out it just wasn't meant to be, I guess, to start the season. Hopefully we see him in December. But yeah, man, we do know that Jarmo Kekalainen, there's rumors going around that he was in Columbus scouting either last night or tonight. So that's something to keep an eye on. Chinnikov, who scored against us the other night, he has been in trade rumors. He requested a trade. So I don't know, man. Like, I think there's a missing piece that this team still needs. I'm hella proud of the way they were able to stay in this game tonight and find a way to battle back, given the mistakes and the things that did go wrong. But at the end of the day, that's not going to get you in the playoffs. I will say this game ends in regulation probably 4 or 5-1 in years past. Tonight they stuck with it. They played hard, and they got a point out of this, a point again. points in 7 of their last 8. Josh Stone staying absolutely hot. Like he's been fantastic as well. Easily a fan favorite. From Ryan Sanders. Realize the trends of these goals. Don't right in front of the goalie. Don't goal. Don't right in front of the goalie. The kid is carrying this team. Josh Stone has been fantastic. I've loved everything I've seen. Does UPL get the next start? I mean, I don't know. They're in quite the conundrum because I think that they don't have faith. I don't think they have faith in UPL. I don't think they do, because if they did, I think he would have played tonight, right? I think UPL would have played tonight if they had faith in him. I don't know. Because you have Washington the next game after this. Ovi's looking for goal number 900. Like I would think that you would play your backup goalie against arguably the worst team in the East, and then come back with Lyon the following game. I don't know. So I don't think they have a ton of faith in UPL. And personally, if you ask me, I think that he's going to end up being the odd man out because they're not going to. I can't see them carrying 3 goalies all season. I just can't. No way. Kesselring 14 minutes tonight. Yeah, that was surprising to me. That guy should be out there longer. Again, maybe he's still getting his body right to play, 18 to 20 plus minutes a night because obviously a long layoff. He missed a lot of training camp. So maybe it's just a kind of gradually getting him back and adjusted thing. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I guess you followed up, probably still giving him limited time because he just came back. That I tend to agree with. I don't know. Like again, tonight, I think 900 incoming. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like I kind of want them to go with Lyon against Washington just because I really don't want us to be on some highlight reel in the future for Ovi's night, for the Ovi being, I mean, every single, like Hurl said, every single goal after he broke that record is the first time that number goal has ever been scored. He's making history every single time he scores a goal. But 900 is a massive milestone, and I really don't want to see the Sabres be a part of that highlight reel year after year after year. I have no interest in that at all. Not at all. And I know there's a lot of criticism of Owen Power, and I gotta, go back and look at the game tape a little bit more. I'm sure there was some stuff to criticize a little bit. But Owen Power wasn't why they lost tonight. No, not a shot. They lost tonight because Darlene blew a tire in overtime on what seemed like a very routine, zone entry, and went back 3-on-1 the other way. But send Power to the moon with no return ship. Again, we all know how I feel about Owen Power. My criticisms of Owen Power. He's 22 years old. He's 22. So that's a guy you invested a first round pick in him. I think you just stick it out until you hopefully again. And we saw shades of it to start the season. We did. Like I see guy, his name is Power is a bust here in the chat. Like I understand why people, the frustration with him and this team in general. There was a lot of frustration to start in the beginning with Darlene. I know those are 2 very, very different defensemen. 2 very, very different defensemen. But he makes over $8 million a year, Owen Power. He's a former first overall pick. And trading a guy like that, like, I don't know if you're going to get the same value you want back in return for him. So maybe you don't make the trade and you stick it out and you hope that over this season and going into next, I would say if he doesn't figure it out this season, then we could have that conversation. No doubt about it. I don't think that you just give up on that guy right now. You don't, because you went out of your way to go get Kesselring to be his partner, so as sort of a stay-at-home guy that can help guide Owen Power, teach him how to be a better, more defensively responsible guy, and then also allow him to do the things that he excels at offensively. And then you're just going to trade him as soon as you go find that guy. Like, I just don't see it. It's not going to happen. It's just not. I think we just need to end that. You're okay. It's okay to criticize Owen Power. God knows I do a lot, but just stop the narrative of trading him. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Unless some team calls you and Kevin Adams and they blow your doors off the hinges with an offer for Owen Power, it's not happening. It's just not. There's no way. So we might as well stop asking for it to happen when it's not going to happen this year. Again, if we're next season and it still hasn't gotten better, then we could have that conversation. But it's not going to happen this season. Greenway, first game back, he's going to be better. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like him taking that one penalty, but it is what it is. He's a great penalty killer. Bottom six guy who's going to score you maybe 25 to 30 points a season. And he's paid to be that guy. So his issue is always going to be that he can't stay healthy, to say the least. I'm going to go to the post-game comments here. Actually, as I was getting ready to go live, they were talking to Alex Tuck. Also a very interesting topic of him and his contract stuff and, where they're going to go with that. And that's always been a big, talking point in the media outlet around the hockey world to, word that better. But Ruff says they did so many good things. They made Boston's goalie into the first star early on, said they are getting chances. They need to finish. Said they are getting in the net. Both the goals in the third came from in front of the net. Dahlian said they need to be better 3-on-3 OT, but find a way to get it, but still need to find ways to get done in regulation. Dahlian says it was a weird one, says they were the better team, says it was a hell of a comeback, says they had opportunity to come back, but he said he fucked up there on the game-winning goal, said he blew a tire, said he knew the ice wasn't good, should have done something. He said he knew the ice wasn't good, should have done something different. I'm not sure if he's referring to the ice in Boston or I'd have to hear that in context. Doan says their comeback was because they were trusting in themselves that they can come back, but they need to still find ways to win an OT. And late in games is something to work on. Doan on his goal says his focus is to get to the net, says the game is becoming less east-west. Knows going to the net is the key. Tuck says OT is a 50-50 coin flip, says it's about limiting chances, says they've been giving up too many odd man rushes in overtime. Tuck also says he had a good feeling about the Boston challenge on his goal, was surprised they challenged, especially knowing they'd be risking the power play afterwards if they lose the challenge. That was surprising me too, because Tuck was entitled to that ice outside the blue paint. He never entered the blue paint. That was a really bad challenge by Boston there. I'm always skeptical when it comes to goalie interference because we've seen that call go the other way plenty of times, but I felt pretty confident that they weren't gonna overturn that and that we were gonna end up with a power play there, to say the least. More from Tuck. A couple costly mistakes and a couple bad bounces led to us being down. I was really happy with how our team played for 16 minutes. I thought we were physical, getting to the net, got a point, wish it were two. Listen, again, this team loses this game in years past. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I personally, I'm hella proud of the way they battled back and stayed in this. I thought, again, they were the better team for the most of that game. Again, sometimes bounces just don't go your way. And you got to find a way to take advantage of the mistakes when they're there. Boston did that more often than Buffalo did. You can look at a lot of mistakes that Buffalo made. The McLeod turnover that led to the 2-on-1 for Pasternak. You look at the overtime goal where you blow your SS Darlene, you blow a tire there, just kind of fall on your own, leads to a 3-on-1 going in the other way. And and it ends up in the back of your net. So, listen, I think that this is one of those games where I hate to be like the glass half full guy. But they outshot them almost by double. They did score on the power play, even though I thought their power play did not look good tonight. But the goal they scored was Dahlin just taking a shot on net and found its way through and went in. That is the way this team is going to score goals. They're not going to be a finesse team. I think the key to the success of this team moving forward is you need your top players to play like top players. You need Alex Tuch and Tage Thompson to start scoring more consistently. You need Rasmus Dahlin to build off, the positives that he did have from this game and take them into the next and start getting on the score sheet more in a positive way. You need Zach Benson to pick up where he left off after his first couple games where he was on an absolute tear. So you need your top players to start playing like your top players. Just plain and simple. You're healthy now, right? You have Kesselring back. You have Greenway back. There's no more excuses. So, and listen, this is a big year for guys like Tage and Tuch, given the Olympics. They both were invited to the U.S. Invitational, like the camp. If you want to play for Team USA, you have to show it in the regular season. You have to find the back of the net more often. I don't know if maybe they're feeling the nerves of that. I mean, any player who says that they're not thinking about that, given that the Olympics are this year, they're a liar. Every single player that was invited to their country's respective camps, they're thinking about it. Unless you're like Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid or fill in the blank for Team USA, like the Chuck brothers, like unless you're so obviously going to be playing, even if you have a bad start to the season, you're thinking about it, man. And I have to imagine Tage and Tucker thinking about that, because Tage was left off of the Four Nations team. The same GM is building that same roster. Who's to say that he doesn't leave him off of this one? So you need your top line guys to be better. You need Rasmus Dahlin to be better. You need Owen Power to be better. And if you can get that from those guys specifically, we could talk about Owen Power, the things he needs to improve on, but specifically Rasmus Dahlin, Tage, Tuch, and Benson. Because I should say Tuch is doing his job. He is. That second line has been fantastic, but the top line just needs to be better. And they need to find somebody that's going to be able to play more consistently with Tage and Benson, because it was supposed to be Josh Norris. You just don't have, Kulik. He looks good at times, but I don't know, man. I would much rather Kulik get a different role, just because I think that depth is the key to this team's success. Outside of what I said before, you need better depth. You had that. You were hoping you're going to have that with Josh Norris as your top center, and then Kulik and McLeod being your second and third. You're not looking at that until hopefully December. At the very earliest. So I don't know, the line matchups today were. I believe it was Kulik on the top. Was he centering, or was Tage the center? I don't know. I take a look right now. Actually, I can't remember exactly what that top line looked like. If Kulik or Tage were centering, I have to imagine it was probably Kulik. I'm taking a look right now. Yeah, Kulik was a center. I think you just need to move Tage back to center. Tage with Kulik and Benson on the wings, or you bring somebody else up to play wing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's Quinn. Maybe you give Quinn a crack at the top line again with Tage at center. I don't know. I like Benson there personally. I don't mind Kulik on the wing. I think he could play both. So I think if you want to take advantage most of, try and spread the talent out down the middle, I think you just need to move Tage back to center. He scored 94 points at center. So, yeah, Tage needs a Marner. I agree. Doesn't have a Marner. Needs Sabretooth to propel down from the rafters at home games, get the boys buzzing. Yeah, I'm all down for that. So, I don't have much left, guys. No riding solo. I don't feel well at all. So, Sabres lose 4-3 in overtime. Their third overtime loss in a row. I believe they play. Is it Saturday? Is it Saturday against Washington? Yeah, Tage is 1C, McLeod is 2C, Kulik is 3C. Have Tage play, dude. But then I don't like them. I got Paul Hamilton. Watch your language here, saying move Doan up to the top line. Which I don't disagree. I think he's playing. He deserved an opportunity, but he's playing so well in that line with Tuck and McLeod. I don't want to break up that line. I think you just have to, as I said at the start of the show, I think the answer currently isn't on the roster. I think they have to go pull the trigger and make a move here to find a top 6 guy to be the answer, because right now I still think there's a missing piece, and whether that guy is Isaac Rosen, who's absolutely tearing it apart. I think he has like 12 points in like 8 games or something stupid like that for the Amerks. If it's Chinnikov out of Columbus, if it's another name somewhere else, I don't know. I was a big go get Mason McTavish, all off season. I know they signed him, but I wonder if that would still be an opportunity for Buffalo, depending on how he feels about his situation there right now. I don't know. That being said, guys, I just want to kick it back to our sponsors, Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room. If you need a beer, make sure you make it a Fatty beer. Let them know 2 goalies, 1 mic sent you. Make sure you check out the giveaway that we're running with Fatty Beer right now. All year long, anytime the Buffalo Sabres get a shutout, a lucky follower of both us and Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter will win a gift card to Fatty Beer. It started tonight. It started at $5, but every game that they don't get a shutout, that credit card or that credit card, that gift card increases by $5. So the next game against Washington, it will be to $10, and it just continues to go up more and more and more after that. So, and then the other giveaway that we're running right now with Extreme Discount Mattress. Anytime a Buffalo Sabres player scores a hat trick, you have an opportunity. They will give away a $250 gift card. You have to be following both 2 goalies, 1 mic and Extreme Discount Mattress on any of their social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We run that all year long. Just go to our feeds wherever you watch the show on social media. Follow the instructions, and you're entered to win. So, and we run that, like I said, every single game. You get a chance to win. Maybe we'll give away like six gift cards this year. That's probably almost equal to an entire mattress. But yeah, here's a word from our sponsor, Extreme Discount Mattress.
We know with Skechers, your day starts with the comfort and support you need for your feet. And now that same innovation has made its way to the bedroom. Introducing the Skechers Sleep System. With cooling SketchKnit fabric, pressure-relieving Skechers Max cushioning, and our Skechers Posture Fit support system, your day ends just like it began, with Skechers comfort that never stops. Skechers mattresses, exclusively at Extreme Discount Mattress, the lowest prices in the nation.
That's right, Extreme Discount Mattresses. We sell mattresses for less, a lot less. Make sure you go check them out. I know I'm going to be soon because I desperately need a new king size mattress. So there's no other place I go to than Extreme Discount Mattress. That's all I got for you guys. As always, I appreciate you popping in and being in here. See more trade UPL talk here in the chat. Marchenko, make a trade with Columbus. Marchenko. Yeah, listen, Jarmo Kekalainen's there. He's there for a reason. So hopefully that's a good indicator that, there's a trade coming, or there's talks of a possible trade coming, or maybe they're in discussions. I don't know. So All-knowing Terry P. The answer is in the room, though. Yeah, he'll never live that one down. I'll talk to you guys later. If you've enjoyed this content, please make sure you're subscribed. If you're audio only, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, we're there. If you're watching on YouTube, drop up elbow on that subscribe button. Drop another elbow on that like button. We appreciate it, no doubt. Please make sure you do. Goes a long way with us and the algorithm. And follow us along on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just follow us at 2 Goalies 1 Mike. You can follow our partners and at Built in Buffalo. So that being said, guys, I'll talk to you later. And as always, go Sabres.